Hi, Asiba. Welcome to the meeting. Can you
Hi,
hear me? Yeah. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. We're
How's your
almost done.
eyes?
Yeah, it's completely normal now. Um, the redness disappeared and it feels normal. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So I think I've just last week. So I rested during the weekend and it went fine.
Yeah,
So how was the lab, Hasiba? You're completely silent during the last lecture session. So I wonder if everything was clear. Were you able to
yeah.
follow?
Honestly, I was like, I discussed with John if
Hmm.
I could continue this course, but
Why?
because on the lecture session, I was like, I was like confused
Hmm.
but yeah, lab helped me. I think more.
Hmm.
Mm, like I see Grace and Jeff, they are so talented and brilliant. I think
No, no, no.
so.
Hasiba, I don't want you
Yeah,
to feel that way. Remember that we have different paces of learning.
yeah.
Some students they can get the concept pretty easily, and
And I'm
some needs
completely
more
new
practice.
to this. Uh,
Yeah, that's
all
also one
these
of the
stuff.
reason why. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Please don't quit because it's
yeah,
completely normal for anything that you're just starting from scratch, right?
yeah,
To have this feeling of being discouraged, but we are here to help you. Okay,
yeah.
John will
Thank
be
you so
guiding
much
you through
for
the
the
lab.
support.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
keep pushing through. You're already halfway. I mean, we've already done like almost 2 months. So
yeah,
I don't think it's a good decision to stop in the middle of any um I should say endeavor. Okay,
yeah. I'm very
so
thankful to you, John, and Grace. She supports in
yeah,
different way. I can understand. I'm grateful and thankful for that.
yeah, and that's the main difference between doing a live session, okay, live course as compared to doing the asynchronous one, like what Google and um
Yeah,
other platforms are offering because there is peer interaction. You can learn not only from the instructor but also from your peers as well. So
yeah,
I think that's one major advantage of it, and it will force you, like
yeah,
when you're studying this or through this asynchronous platform, it's very difficult to push yourself. However, when you have this live sessions, you'll be well required to join because part of your uh, grade, like 80% of your
yeah,
grade would be coming from the attendance or
yeah.
no you should have 80% attendance, I should say. So yeah, keep pushing through. We're here to help. Okay, and
Yeah,
I
I
see
would
that.
I would have a request for the test. Please
Yeah,
just
please
keep
prepare.
me in your mind and make those questions a little bit like not
Sure, sure.
easier, but
Yeah, yeah.
just a little bit that I could pass the course.
Sure, sure. No worries with that. I'm always adapting my exams with um the students. Okay. Hi,
Yeah,
Grace.
yeah.
Welcome
Thank
to the
you.
meeting. How are you?
Hello.
Yeah, we were
Good.
just talking about that. Hasiba said that you're very helpful. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you
good.
very much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
we're almost done
welcome.
with SQL. I mean, there are only 2 lectures left with SQL. So I think we cannot push the exam this Saturday. So I'm thinking that you can use the lab during Saturday to do review. Okay. So you can use that for a review with John, but we'll still have lecture on Saturday. And since Monday next week is a holiday, then it would give you more time to to prepare. So the exam would be Wednesday. Okay.
Sounds
I'll
good.
be
I like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
I'll be posting an announcement. So I think the that time would be sufficient for everyone um to do the review to prepare. So yeah, that's how we should proceed. Okay. And yep, I think we can start. The others will just catch up. Anissa, she got into surgery, so she's still recovering. And Nia's at work, so she's catching up with or through the videos, through the recordings. I think Jeff would be here in a few minutes. Okay, let me pull out the file. Let's do a quick recap. Okay, recapitulation of the discussion the last time about the subquery, and I think we had this good examples, good practices in using it. Um, it's not opening. Oh, it's throwing me error. Why? Okay. Oh, there we go. Slideshow from beginning. Okay. I'm sharing my screen now. Okay. So can you see it, guys? The slide. Okay. Perfect. So let's do a quick recap just to refresh all the things that we talked about um, pertaining to subquery. So a subquery, okay, is a query within another query. So you think about it as a table within a table. So once you are able to come up with this table, you can now wrap it in a query of another. So that's what basically subquery is all about. So there are times that you need to do that, especially if you want to answer something that requires you to do several steps. Okay, so probably you need to filter your table first and then uh, query on it again on the filtered one. So that's how you use subquery. And always remember that um, the subquery must be working on its own. So you cannot put a subquery that's not working because it's being run first. The innermost subquery is being run first, and then the next one until the main query, which is the external one. So make sure that all of those queries are standalone. Okay, meaning or can stand alone, I should say. They are functioning on their own. Okay, and it's not difficult to visualize the idea of subquery. Think of it well. Basically, I look at it in the perspective of like an onion in which there are several layers, and the core would be the innermost subquery, and the running of those subqueries would be starting from there up until the last layer. Okay, and we talked about how to put subqueries in the where clause, so it would be uh, a way to filter, right? Your your table even further. So, and I think we have done a couple of examples regarding this. So, let me think. Um, some of the pointers here would be uh, always be careful with the logical operator that you're using. It could be equality, it could be inequality. Okay, so make sure that you understood well um, the question or your end goal. Make sure that it is clear before you um, decide on whether it should be equality or whether it should be inequality. And we had this example, right, that requires us to return all of the set math scores that are greater than the average. It's just very, very simple, right? And you can again write a where clause after this. So once you have once you have this thing, there's a possibility that there's a where clause inside your subquery, and it's also completely possible to have another where after your subquery that has a where clause. So again, it is context specific, okay, depending on what you want to accomplish. And this is another example, right? This would return more than a single value. So all of this would return this um, rows having a conference equal to American Athletic, which is basically uh, what you would expect if you just run this thing, right? When you filter it, all of the school names having American Athletic, it would return you more than one row. And yep. So I want to highlight this thing. So this example in which we are filtering the American Athletic conference in our subquery, and then looking into the school name and the player name. This is similar to what we did with the join. Okay, so if you will compare doing it with a join, so the one on the right is the query using a join, and the one on the left is a subquery. They are just the same, perfectly the same. Okay, so you can accomplish so many steps with subquery, including joins. Now, how do you decide? Okay, how do you decide to whether use subquery or join? Okay, so here are some things to consider. So generally speaking, joins run faster than subqueries. So there are other considerations, but generally they run faster than subqueries. And on the other hand, subqueries tend to be readable than joins. So if you would ask me, okay, and on the perspective of writing the codes, I would say that subquery is much faster to write, and it's more clear. It's clearer in terms of the flow of logic, right? When you're writing, it's just a personal perspective. Okay, my personal take on this, but it depends on you. If you're more comfortable with joins, then you would find doing joins more intuitive than subquery. So it's again depends on you. Okay, it depends on you, but you can accomplish the same thing with both of this. Okay. Well, one advantage of using join would be if you have multiple common fields, right? Remember the discussion about joining on multiple keys? You cannot do that with subquery. So that's why joins could, well, most of the time, especially when you're working with a data set, well, it's more preferred because of that, because of um, that ability of being able to run faster using that idea of multiple keys. So I hope that's clear. Again, it's a matter of preference. It's a matter of preference for relatively small data set. The the difference in the speed would be negligible, very small. So it depends really on you on whether you want to use the one on the left or the one on the right. Okay, but it's always best to know how to do both. Okay, you understand both of the ways. But of course, in real job, sometimes they don't care. They don't care on how you arrive on things. They care the most if is that what they care the most is that if what you have in your result is actually accurate. Okay, regardless of how you're able to come up with it. So yep. So we have this practice, and I think John um went through this with you. So here we use the hybrid. Basically, um, the structure is almost the same as what we did with the average. So average of sat math scores. So basically the same logical flow. And then this one, as you can see, um, well, here we filtered it by a string. So again, it's not really complicated. It really depends on the question that you want to answer. Okay, and I just included here. What? How would you do this with the join? And as you can see here, we use the the end, okay, which is supposedly used for multiple keys. And I think I highlighted it before that we can use it as a filter. So we use it as a filter. We look into the common field school name, right, from players and teams table, but we added another filter in which we only want in the merge table um, the conference equal to Big 12, okay, and just ordered by descending height. So we did um, something similar to this uh, during the discussion of the joints. Okay, and this is something that we did, but I failed to formally introduce to you. Okay, remember that how we compare the where clause and the from clause last meeting, right? So I use the from clause in my setting and also with the idea of grace. Jeff did it in a much simpler and more elegant way. Just include the average and the sum of the columns. So that's more elegant as compared to using subquery, definitely. So some notes, okay, that I want to go through very briefly. Yes, Jeff, do you have any questions?
I said that was by accident. It was not like I didn't know it was gonna work.
Yeah, well, that's programming. Again, committing errors, committing how should I say this? Syntax errors in programming, that's perfectly fine. It should not limit you in exploring different different ideas in answering problems. Okay, we should not take it negatively whenever we encounter errors, right? So don't be afraid of errors. So yep, let me go through this. Subqueries in the from clause treat the subquery as a table. When using a subquery in the from clause, you must alias your subquery. It's a requirement. So if you don't use alias in your subquery, it will throw you an error. Okay, because basically you're creating a new table out of it. So this type of subquery is called the derived table in MySQL. It's also called an inline view in Oracle. So again, depending on the platform, but whether you say derived table, if you're working with Oracle, people would understand you. Okay, but me personally, I haven't used Oracle before. Well, I've used Oracle before, but not really on like um like a massive project. I use it for my classes in the university. I taught um, databases before in my university, so I used Oracle for that. But most of the time, MySQL is just way way. I'm not sure if it's just my take, but it's more comfortable to use MySQL. It's well in terms of being user friendly. I think MySQL has an edge over Oracle. Again, people could argue that well Oracle is much they're more comfortable with Oracle or they see it as more user friendly. So it's what I said is a bit subjective. Okay, so let's consider here an example. So what is the restaurant in the Bendot ratings table with the highest average rating? So here, as you can see, um, we did a grouping first, right? In the best Bendot ratings table. And what this table contains is the restaurant, okay, and the average rating. So there are different restaurants there, okay, in this Bendot ratings table. And we just took the average rating because, for example, there are 5 customers that went to restaurant A. In order for you to have like a groupings that would reveal the average from that five from those 5 customers, you have to aggregate them, right? You need to have a grouping. That's why we have the group by in here. So if there's only one entry, okay, one record, one row for a particular restaurant, then the average would be that actual value. Okay, so the average would be that exact value from or that exact rating. Maybe let me pull up my Excel and have a visual because there could be a disconnect from what I'm thinking and what you receive, right? So let me let me explain it in a more detailed way. So for example, here we have the restaurants column, and then we have the ratings column. So there's a possibility that, for example, you have restaurant A right here. So these are customers, right? Customer one, customer two, and there is this one record from customer B. For um like restaurant B. This is just a row counter, I should say. It just counts the customers from these different restaurants, and maybe we have C in here and so on. So basically, what I was saying earlier is that for this one, if you have like a rating out of 100, say 85 or 86, 75, and B has say 78, and for C you have 90 and 99. Okay, uh, so we got a bit biased on restaurant C right there. So the average would be first you have to have a grouping, right? So that grouping, let's merge this one. Um, where is the merge in here? Uh, hey, my ribbon is different now. Yeah, there we go. So this would be A, right? This would be A, and it only has one value for both of these records. So that would be the average of this. So 80.5. Okay. Now, what I was saying earlier, okay, we only have one record for B. So what is the average then, Jeff? That would be the actual value. The average of itself is just itself. So that's the one that I was explaining earlier. I'm not sure that was clear, but I hope it's clear now that if you have a single value, then that value would now be equivalent to the average. So for C right here, oh my bad, C right, what's happening? Okay, and then we have here average. So this is basically what's happening in this inside this query. Okay, this subquery that we have. This is what's happening. Do you follow, or does that make sense, guys? Questions? Was that even clear? That this is what's being done in the inside query. Hasiba, Grace, Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. How about the others? So we are expecting two columns, right? In the select clause, it would give us two columns. So that would be this column and this column. Okay, that's what's happening there. And then after that, what is the max average? So if you have these two columns, right? Now we'll be asking which is the highest. So the max, right? The max would be just the highest from the average column. It would return you a single value of 94.5. Do you follow? That's what's happening in this query. You just take the max of this. Do you follow, guys? So that is the main query. Okay, the outermost query. So it's not really complicated, right? If you follow the 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 sequence, okay, of running the syntax, the queries. You start with the innermost, okay, finds each rating of each of the restaurant, and then the main query finds that maximum of this averages.
Uh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Siba.
So why we don't have anything in from like after select max average rating and from is just like we don't have another table there from.
Yeah. Why do we why don't we have another table in this from
Yeah,
clause?
like yeah.
Yeah, because the table is this. So this act as a table. Um,
Okay.
this is a table.
Okay.
So originally, when we refer to the table, we're referring to the table um, from mode, right? So this is a table
Mm-hmm.
in mode. However,
Yeah.
here in this query, we use the entirety of this query as a table in which we are querying to get the maximum average.
Okay.
Does it make sense,
Yeah.
Hasiba?
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
yeah, let me. I don't see the lowermost part of my screen. How do I see? Okay, there we go. Okay, so yep. So that's basically the idea. So let's consider another example. So here, which incident numbers in the tutorial SF crime incidents 2014 table occurred on a Friday and had a resolution of none. So solve this using a subquery. So we have this following steps. So the innermost query would be first to write the query to find the crimes that occurred on a Friday, right? So there should be a column there that identifies the days of the week. So what you would do first is okay, I would be doing select star, understanding first the columns that I have in this table. Then there should be I should find a column that refers to the day of the week. Okay, and I'll be pulling out all that are Friday. Okay, all that is Friday. So once I do that, I'll be moving to step number two. So that table that I wrote for step number one would be my inner query, right? And then I'll be write a query to find the crimes in which the resolution is done. So I will be adding um, a filter in my outer query, right? That would look into okay, all of these are Friday because of step one, but I want to know all the resolution or all the resolution equal to none or those having no resolution at all. So when we look at the result, we see the actual step, okay, in action. So here we filtered all of those that are Friday. That is step number one. And then in step number two, okay, from this table, from step number one, again, we should treat it as a table. We will be only filtering all of those that have Friday crimes resolution equal to none. Okay? So imagine having one table containing all of the all of the Fridays, right? All of the crimes committed on a Friday or incident, I should say, and then filtering all of those with resolution, right? So that is how you do it. And remember that we are using here um we are using here an alias, right? For the table that we have done in step number one. Okay, do you follow? Maybe let's switch to mode and let's try it and let's see the result. I'm opening my mode, so you should do as well. Do it together with me. So let me write the question here. Okay. So the question was, we want, it's too small. So we want to get all the incidents that happened Friday, right? on Friday. And then after that, we want to 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 get all of those incidents. Oh, no, no, no. I okay. I was just thinking that I can merge the question in just one line, but it could be a bad idea. We want to get all of those incidents from from above that don't have any resolution. Okay, resolution is equal to none. So that's what we want. So what is this? The first step right here, being an analyst, is to familiarize ourselves with the table. So tutorial.sfcrime 2401 is the table, right? Because you want to know, okay, what is the column name in which uh the days of the week are identified. So we have the incident number right here. We have the category, the script, day of week. Perfect, right? This is what we need. The day of week. Then we have the date, time, PD underscore district, resolution. This is one column again that we will be using. Because we want only those with none, right? Specifically none. Address, longitude, latitude, some information that are not useful in this problem that we have. So what we want to do here is, okay, I want to select the incidents. No, no, no. Let's start with the table. So from tutorial, I'm a bit lazy, so I'm gonna copy that, and then I'll be adding a filter here where day of the week, right? Oh, week is equal to non Friday. Is it all capital? Yeah, no, it's correct. Friday. And then I would want to see, I want to display all the incidents. So it could be just mm, maybe the best thing to return would be the incident number, because yeah, even this script would make sense to be returned. It would be returning incident number, which is like an ID of the incident. So I'm thinking that there could be another table that is linked to this by the incident number, and then the script, right? So in this way, we'll be able to filter that table. It only contains the Friday. I want to add, oh, it changed the color again. I want to add the day of the week. Just to show you that all of this would be Friday. That's what I want to do with that. So all of this now, guys, all of this are now Friday. Now, if we look into, right, if we look into the resolution, I would add the resolution here. There's a problem. Why? Because filtering by day of week would actually um, give you those other resolutions. Now you might be thinking, Jeff, there's an easy way for this. Why not in your where clause just add an end, right? Why would you use the subquery if there's a easier way to do this? Why or how? We can say end resolution is equal to none, so that all of those would be Friday and has a resolution of none. That's perfectly fine. Again, with what Jeff did last time, he made it in a way that is very simple, right? I can do it without doing any subquery. But the good thing with subquery is if you want to use it again for another series of layer or filter, then you can wrap it up together with another query, right? So let's do that. So this is one solution again, well, a more elegant solution, I should say. But let's let's make our life more difficult, I should say, by wrapping this up, right? This part right here. It's like making life difficult, but or choosing a more difficult life when you have other options of an easier one. So something like that. Okay. It will just give you the same exact result. So here, so again, what's our goal? We want all the resolution that is equal to none, right? So from this table, so it will be a wrap up. It would be um, a table uh, inside the table, so something like that. So we will be renaming this as um, new table. Simple as that. New table. And then I'll be adding here a filter where I find it really, really funny. Where resolution, right? Where resolution, sorry, new table dot resolution is equal to none. And then I would be looking into select new table dot resolution. Oh, incident number first. Incident number, new table dot mm, day of week, right? Day of week. We want to verify if what we have is actually correct. And the new table dot um what else? With the incident number, day of week, uh resolution. So basically what we're saying here is okay, after you created this, I'll be wrapping it up into another query and then filter it. I will be pulling out all of those rows having a resolution equal to none. And I'll be displaying these three columns, which is basically the same thing right here at the top. It's basically the same. Okay? It's just the same thing. But it's more complicated, I should say. Error syntax at or near dot point uh, 64. Let me see. New table dot resolution. It's just a spelling, I think. Incident. Incident num incident num new table day of week. Oh, I forgot the comma. Okay, you see that comma could ruin your life. Okay, if you're not, I mean, uh, if you cannot spot it immediately, that would ruin your life. You might be overthinking. You could focus on this part, but in reality, you're just missing the comma right there. So this, okay, let's order it, right? Let's order it. Order by incident number, ascending, so that it's prettier, more organized. And I wonder if they are just the same. Oh, so there are replicates right here, which is odd. I mean, um, let's see the description. I want to see the description right here because it could be really a replicate. So new table dot descript, new table dot, was it descript? Was it descript? I can't remember. Let's say Ah, yeah, it's this script. Perfect. We want to see if they are really just replicates, but it seems not. That's so weird, right? Because as you can see, this is credit card theft. This is lost property. Ah, I see. It's just the same thing. It's just the same thing. Lost property, credit card theft by use of whatsoever. It's not listed here. So this thing is an error in encoding, I should say. So there are replicas of the same record. Dawn, why do you have that? Because they have different descriptions, but they pertain to the same incident. Um, yeah. So what we can do here is we can hit it with what? I can hit it with a distinct. In that way, it won't show me any of that replicate. Do that. We should not see. Oh, okay. Uh, Still giving me this. It's not being recognized as hmm. Let me see. This should be removed. Wonder if should I should put it inside the parentheses so that it would only be applied, right? To that incident number instead of all of this, because the reason why it's still being retained is the description uh is unique. So putting it in a parentheses, wait, it's giving me error. Distinct. Hmm. Let me think for a while. Huh. 1310565. These are replicates, and I want that to be removed. Select distinct new table. Why is it working? This should be working. 1310565. New table incident number, table of week. Huh. Let me think. Why is it not working? Friday. Resolution none. Hmm. Well, this should work, but for some reason, it's still throwing me that thing. Interesting. Let me see. Haha. Let's explore even more. Distinct incident from this. I see. So it could be remove this one. Solution. Yeah. Yeah, it's still being recognized once we add the description, because the descriptions are unique for 685, right? So that's the reason. Just like what we have thought of. So it's still being recognized as unique because of this description. There should be a way. Let me think. There should be a way that only one of this would be retained. 6585. Well, of course, in reality, in actual practice, what you can do with this is just to delete row 3 and row 4, right? You can easily do that. Unfortunately, with mode, we can it doesn't allow us uh, to do that. But in Microsoft, in other platform, once you see this and you've identified, okay, there are replicas, you can just delete 3 and 4. So anyway, but that's the reason why it's still included. It's because this row inputs that we have in the district column are, though they are pertaining to the same thing, but they are having different inputs, okay, of the same thing. So anyway, any questions, guys? Any questions here? Questions? Everything's clear? Where is Jeff? He got dropped? John? So
Yes, sir.
anyway, Grace, Hasiba, any questions here? We just extended this thing. We just extended the one that we're talking about in class. Um, this one, okay. But again, you can do that even without the subquery. You don't need to go over a subquery and do that. And yeah, so it's basically here. I've included it here. So yep. Um, yeah. So any questions with subquery before we proceed to the next one, to uh to a completely new topic? No questions?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. How about Grace? Grace, everything clear so far? You can just send a thumbs up. I think you're still at work. 13, 14. Okay, down to the second to the last lecture. Second to that. And by the way, these are easy. Uh, these are easy concepts because we've already solidified the foundation. So this will be like a breeze for you. Okay. So what are today's plan? Of course, we've already finished subqueries and we already did the recap. And then we'll be starting with cleaning strings. So let's proceed to that. Cleaning strings. Okay. This is the most hated process by data analytics, by both data analysts and data scientists. Um, it's really it's not difficult, but it's time consuming, and at the same time, it's frustrating. Why? Let's consider, okay? Even an invisible space could cost you hours to detect, okay? Like for example, you're trying to filter your data and you're observing that you have multiples multiple factors of the same thing. Okay, like for example here, let's go back to Excel. Like you have a record that says product, you have PRDCT, and then we have PR
Excuse me, you're
underscore
not
prod.
sharing your
Uh,
screen.
I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, what happened? Second screen. How about now?
You don't say that to Dante, okay?
Yeah, now I can see.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, let me go back again here. So our topic for today, the second part of our lecture, is on cleaning strings. Okay. So cleaning strings is part of the process called data processing, pre-processing. Okay, it's under that umbrella. So there are two sections there: cleaning of strings and cleaning of numeric data. So as I said earlier, it's quite frustrating because even the slightest and the minuscule error in the way your observations are recorded could cost you so much time. So imagine, for example, your records are not uniform. So the pertaining to the same product, you have this, and sometimes they put space, like an invisible space, and then that it would cost you a lot of time to actually identify that. It's not easy to spot that. Okay, what could be the impact of that? If you do, for example, a summary measure counting this, okay, if you hit it with a count, it would just give you 1111. Because it would be the system would be identifying it or this as unique inputs. But in reality, they're just the same thing, the same product, but encoded in different ways, whether it was consciously or unconsciously done. But sometimes the more headache comes from those done unconsciously. Like for this one, sometimes like when the enumerators or those recording the data are like different people, right? If you have a team, so one person could be screwing it up by creating shortcuts without knowing that it could have an impact in the analysis. So um, ideally, there would be this discussion about it in your team. However, even with that, there are still inputs. There would still be um, events that you would still see this kind of problem. Okay, even you follow all the processes and all the necessary things prior to data encoding, there would still be errors, and that would delay your data analysis because you would have to fix those. Okay, so that's the main idea here with cleaning of strings. Later on in Python, we'll be looking into cleaning of numeric variables. Okay, so what is data wrangling? Data wrangling is transforming raw data into a format that makes it easier to work with. Examples: changing data formats. So imagine if your format has been like different for each of the inputs. It's don't haphazardly or in a random manner. Then how could you summarize that, right? So the formats for your field should be the same. The merging of columns, just like what we did last lecture. We merged all of the scores because, as Grace pointed out, she wants to see the overall average, not only with the sat math, but with the reading and the writing. We can combine these columns, right, together. And some other things like removing out outliers, um, imputing missing values. Okay, those are part of data wrangling. So the first code that we will be discussing here is the left. Okay, the left. So it extracts a given number of characters from a string, starting from the left of the string. So the syntax structure is this: left string, number of characters that you want to get. Okay, so here from the date column, right? This is a column of string. Get 10 characters from the right. Okay, and rename that column as date only. So let's see that. Let's see that in mode. Okay, so we'll be using the same thing. Let's first look into. So let's rename this data wrangling. So let's first look into date, right? Because that's the the column we're focusing on. So as you can see, if you count 10 characters from the left, that would be 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we should expect that the date would only be included in the resulting table without this time and whatever this is. I'm not sure what to call this plus 000. So let's do that. So let's select left of date, and I want 10 characters. And I'll be calling that as my new date. So from this tutorial, SF prime incidents. So as you can see, let's also retain that date that we have in there. So now we'll have two columns here. One, the complete date. Maybe rename it as complete date. Okay. So we were able to extract. Forgot the underscore right there. So we have a complete date, which is originally from the table that we have, prime incidence table, and then we have the my new date, which only contains the date. Because sometimes we don't need the R's, right? We're not after the R's, we're only after the date because we will be summarizing our data by daily or by monthly whatsoever. So if you want it to be my monthly, so you will only want to get so what if we want only the years? What if we only want the years? What do you think?
Uh, can you please tell me what is the role of left here?
Yeah, the left here is it's counting from the left the number of rows or the number of characters that you will be including in your output. So going back here, Hasiba, if you look at this is the complete date, right? From the table. Now you count. Where is my Epic pen? Let me see. Let me just pull up my Epic pen. Oh, it's acting up again. It Epic Pango. No, give me a minute. I need my Epic pen here. Oh, it's not working. So basically, if you count from 0, so this is 1, 2, including this slash, so that's still a character. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You would get the date only. So basically, what you're saying right here is from the left, get 10 characters in the date column and rename it as my new date. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Yep. Perfect. Perfect. You're welcome. So, yeah. So if you do this, then it will just give you this new my new date, which is a date only input. Now, please answer this. What if we want only the years? How can we do that? We can do a subquery here. Okay. Again, I know. I think you know the logic. So this is a table, right? This thing. This is a table. Instead of going back to my incidents 2014, which has like this complete date, I can just use this my new date, and then from the right, I count how many? Four. So let's see that. Let's see that. Okay. So let's see. So from here, I'm making it complicated, but later there's a much simpler way to do it. Okay. So please bear with me. So from here as new table, this is this is completely unnecessary. Okay. But I just wanted to see that you can use the subquery here. So we have to select now right, select right of this my new date, which is from this new table, dot my new date, and I want how many characters from four? One, two, three, four. So four, right? And I'll be calling that as um reduce date or just simply date, right? And then that's it. So let's see. This should work. This should work. I don't see any error. There we go. So this is the difficult way. This is a difficult way. There's a much easier to do it by using this thing. Okay, just simply apply the right and count the number of characters. So it's 17. So in this case, this is for time only. Like what happened if you want like the time, but basically here, if you want the date using the right, what we want to do is go back to here, right? And how many characters do we have in here? So starting from the right, it should be one, two, three, four, but you'll be including this. So one, two, three, four, five. I'm not sure if there's a space in here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, right? 17. So, hmm, 17. Hmm. So 17 would give us only the time, right? Alternatively, let's look into an alternative solution here. A much simpler one. And by the way, please um, think together with me and voice out your ideas. Again, we're starting from here, okay? And we want only this. Something in the middle, right? Something in the middle. Currently, what we know would be the right and the left. Hmm. Let me think. I think this is the if we do it with the right, with the left, we should start counting from 24, from 2, and that's not possible with the right here. Okay, let me go back to this question. I think we need another tool. Okay, with the right and the left only. I think we can only do this. All right, with the right and the left. However, there are other tools that we will be going through. I want to be structured. Um, so it seems like that we need to. Let me see. Let me see the box. What if apply left first to extract the first 10 characters, then apply. Um, that would actually work because you'll be treating the left date 10 as a new input, right? Yeah, that's a great idea. I think that work. So let's see. Let's do it piece by piece. Okay. So we first that everything would be, but I think that should work, right? Let's do it piece by piece. So the idea is to select first the right. Um, oh no, it should be the left first. So the left, uh, date of the date, and then 10. Let's see. Let's see what it would give us. But before that, before we run it, what we basically saying right here is from the left, count 10 characters, right? So 0, 1, zoom it a bit. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this will give us the date only, right? So let's see. Let's see if the theory is correct. There we go. So this is basically what we did right here. Now, we will be using the idea, okay, this is an input, right? That's one input, only a date. If we wrap it up, okay, from that, okay, being only date, we can count from it 4 characters from the right. And then we add 4 right here, it should give us, so from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is actually a shorthand version of this. Do you follow? This is a shorthand version of this without a, how do you call this? Without a subquery, okay? So let's see if our theory, uh, no, let's remove it first. Let's do it in a different line. Then extract 4 characters from the right. That's actually a brilliant idea, right? That's a brilliant idea. So treat it as one. Treat it as a one column, new column, and then extract 4 characters from it. This should work. This would definitely work. Perfect. Cheers. So we only got the date right now, okay? Or rather the year. Now what if let's play a little bit more. What if we want, and I want you to answer this, okay, guys? Just explain to me the idea. What if we want the AM or the PM only? Okay, let's make it a bit more interesting. I'll be giving you 3 minutes, okay? Using this idea from John, okay? Or no, not that thing. This one. Oh no, this one. Using the same idea, I want you to get the AM or the PM only. I think there's a space right here, John, right? Yeah. And by the
Yes, sir.
way, the space is counted as one string. So it's included in the counting. Don't forget that. So if there's a space right there, um, let me see. Never mind this, okay? Never mind this. Um, don't. I just want to confirm something. Never mind this for now. Just want to verify that there's a there's a there's a space right there. Okay, 28. Let's see. Uh, yeah, there's a space. There's a space. Okay, so be careful with it. Actually, there's a way to count the number of length or to count the length by avoiding the spaces. Trailing, um, leading. What's the other one? I forgot the other one. But anyway, I just want to give you a warning that there's a space right here, and right here. Okay, guys, was the thing clear? I only want the AM or the PM here. Please get it for me. I don't want any other input here. Create menu column that contains only a PM or an AM. Oh, sorry. Okay, giving it. I'll be giving you 3 minutes. Either you do right first or left first. It won't matter. But I think doing right would be way easier, right, John? Because it's near to the right, so it's more logical to do so. And I'll be calling someone to share their work. Okay, right. Now let's do a bit of recitation. By this time, I think you can easily ace any SQL interview. To be honest with you, this most of the SQL interviews, they would be asking you to filter, to join tables, typically joins, because people are really confused with joins. So they will be asking you to join this table and then filter it. So it's your call if you want to show off. Oh, okay, I want to do subquery with it. It really depends on you, but you should get the correct result.
I think in my next interview, I'm just gonna mention the word subquery, and I think it will
Subquery,
probably. I think that will probably like impress some people. Just like, so are you familiar
yeah,
with query like yeah, I know how to like I learned I know how to do like subqueries and
yeah,
stuff. It's like oh wow, it's subquery.
yeah. It's quite well. It's generally more I should say impressive to do subquery. Like it would show that you are really adept with writing the codes, because join is like a shortcut.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But I mean, they're not. It's not really that much harder than the join. Join is just as hard as subquery.
yeah.
It's about the same like level of I think.
Well, I think you can say that. Um, but if you compare, like if you read a complicated subquery and a complicated join, I think I think the subquery would still stand out because the flow of logic would just be better,
Yeah, but so doesn't that even
more
doesn't that
flexible.
make isn't that gonna just make subquery a little bit easier. It's actually for somebody who
Mhm.
to read it. So yeah, it makes it even easier.
Yeah, I agree. And you can actually do a subquery while you have a join inside. I've done that
Maybe
before.
I think maybe it's because like join is just a little bit more common that people do that more.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. The subquery is just very flexible. If you want to filter, then you can use that even without having, right? In fact, having is not really required. You can bypass that easily with subquery, just like what we did with the previous example. So by this time, I think the foundation is really solid, and we've been successful with SQL. Now the challenge with, well, Power BI is very easy. I mean, I've been doing Power BI, and the challenging part with Power BI is um, the DAX, which you would be doing DAX uh, on a context to context basis, but Power BI is like Excel. It's very easy to do. I think the remaining challenge would be statistics and Python. Well, with Python, I think the programming practice that you had with SQL, I think it would be relatively easier. So I think the last challenge for you will be statistics because you'll be needing to go back to mathematics, especially when we discuss distributions. Because I want to be deep in those concepts so that you're not only a possible data analyst but also a data scientist as well. So anyone who wants to um, share their work, stop sharing so that you can go ahead and share your work. I forgot the code in which how to remove all of the spaces. There's that code. Can you remember it, Don?
I think, sir,
This
simply
short.
trim, but
Is that
for the
trim?
leading is L trim for
Yeah, L trim and
the
R trim. But there's
L
a
trim.
there's a way that even in the middle, any space would be removed. Was it just trim? I think trim is only for leading and
Leading
beginning.
and beginning only for the
Yeah,
trim.
yeah. Let me try remembering that. There's a useful code that removes all of the space. Jeff, do you want to try share your work?
So I actually stepped away for a second.
Yeah, you
Sorry, I'm
can do
actually
it.
stepping. I actually stepped away for a second, so I'm not in front of my computer right now.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. How about Hasiba? Hasiba, share your work. We just want the AM or the PM. That's it, and maybe there's some additional questions. You know me. Okay.
No, I'm not able to do that.
Oh, okay, you share your screen and let's do it together. Right? Let's do it together. Just a fun session.
Sorry for the background noise.
No problem. No problem. And let's see. Can you zoom it a bit? Why is it very small? Yeah, there we go. My third monitor is okay. Uh, select. Okay. Hmm.
Left.
8. Okay, from the table. Okay.
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 Now I can.
Yeah, you can run it and let's see what the system would tell us. Okay. Okay. There's an error. So function left does not exist. No function matches the given name. So you're lacking one important parameter of left, which is the length of or basically the number of characters that you want to pull out,
Oh,
right? So it should be after the date. And
after the parentheses.
no, it should be inside the parentheses. It's a parameter. So it should be comma. So date, comma, and how many characters would you be pulling out from the date column?
AM or PM, like 2 or 4? 2?
Uh, okay, you do a select star first, and let's visualize, right? Select star first at the top, and then let's see the actual just run that first. So the date, you move to the date.
It's not working.
The cursor is not showing.
Yeah.
Right. Ah, there we go. It's maximized or zoomed in. Yeah, the cursor at the bottom near page one. That can be. Yeah, there we go. So the date. Now you zoom in a bit and count the number of characters from the left that you want to extract from it.
AM.
Yeah, how many characters to get that
2
from the left? The counting starts from the left. It could be from the
from
right,
here.
depending on you. Yeah. When you use the left function, the counting, the
Mhm.
extraction would be starting from the left. Now, which do you think is the easier one? To start from the left or to start from the right?
Okay.
If you start from the left,
Eleven.
there would be 11. Okay, try putting 11 in that too and try running it.
Okay.
And you see the column name? You see the column name, Hasiba?
Yeah.
Your column name is capitalized. So it should be lowercase date. There we go. So try running that. Okay. Now, in 11 characters, you see that you pulled everything, okay, from the left until the 11th character, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see what it did? So
Yeah.
starting from zero, the counting. So zero, one, two, or zero, one slash. I can see it clearly, but those are 11 characters, including the slash. Now I want you to go to the date again and try to see. You do the select star again and go back to the date, or you can just select date to make it simpler. But yeah, and anyway, that should work. Run it again. Run it again. It's just an error. Go to the date. Go to the date column. You see, um, it would be better if you start from the right
From the
because
right.
the number of strings would be less. Okay, so there is how many? No. You only need
60.
if you would be starting from the right, you need to end with A.
8.
Okay, so try putting 8 in there and change it from left to right. Yeah. Because we want to capture that AM, right? That's what we want to extract. Okay. Okay, now we have the AM. Now from here, you see, you can apply a left, right? And how many characters do you need to extract only the AM? Two. So apply the left, okay? So before the right, apply the left in the select. Yeah, on your line 4, yeah,
Yeah,
there. Before the right, so immediately after the
before the
select,
here.
yeah, yeah, put left, left, parentheses.
Okay.
You should remove the space. No, no, no.
Oh,
You should remove the space before the left and the
okay.
parentheses, just for a good practice. And then
Okay.
you
Another
put
person.
comma. You put comma 2, and then close parentheses. So basically, what you're saying here is the right date 8 gives you this, but the left and then the 2 would give you the AM and the PM.
Oh,
So this is how you do it with the left. But you can also do it with the right, but it's more complicated because you have this number of characters from more number of characters when you start the counting from the left. Okay, instead of
okay.
you start with the right. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
okay, perfect, perfect. Now let's proceed. Any questions again, guys? You can just interrupt me if something is unclear. So here, where was it? So yep. So this is actually the challenge. The one that you did is actually the challenge, right? Um, you will be combining the concept of the right and the left in order to like get something in between. So yep, that's good. I think you got it right. And then we have the length. So the length basically gives you um the length of the string. Okay, the length of the string. So even with numbers, let me show this to you. Um, I think I accidentally closed. Oh, there we go. Even with numbers, quote and then quote. Okay. So for example, we select 050 length. In some programming language, it's just len, like Python and R. So if you do this, it would just give you the number of characters, right? So basically, the thing right here is not really a number. The moment that you put it inside the single quotation marks, it automatically uh, becomes a string. So the system is reading it now as a string. Okay, whenever you put it inside the single quotation marks. Do you follow? Do you follow, guys? Okay. Now notice that if I remove this and try running it again, it would fail because length can only be applied to strings. Okay, just like what we have in our slide, that it is I should say a function for strings.
And then
Okay.
even like even with the string, you need to add a quote, right?
Uh, yes. If you do it this way, if you do it like in this in this way, but you don't have to put quotation marks if you'll be applying it to a column.
Oh, basically, it's gonna think it's a variable. It's an alias.
Yes.
Got it.
Does it
So
make sense?
okay, got
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a alias, but you could also select directly a
A letter or
no, no,
or
like a column. Can you no
yeah, you can do that. That's actually what we did right
like a
here.
date? Like you could do that
Yeah,
with
yeah.
date, right?
Yes. You can do that with a column. It's actually being applied
But then
to
like
things.
I don't know if you said that earlier. Like if it with a date, if not with a date, but with like Like what if data is like an integer?
It won't work.
It won't work.
It won't work if that's a numeric column. So you can only apply that in a string column. You can easily see
Oh, you
that,
can use
like,
that. You can use the cast varchar
yes,
thing.
you can cast it first. You can cast the column as a varchar or varchar, and then um, convert it as a string. That way,
Uh,
you would be able to apply the length function. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Yeah. Yep.
think-
I think there was this practice that requires you to convert it first to a string. I think it was with the like, right, John? It was with the like function that yeah, there's a column that is a numeric column, but I was asking to apply the like function,
Yes,
and
sir.
then you needed to cast it to whereas a
Extract,
varchar first.
extract the
Where
last.
was it? Yeah, yeah. I think we have that. Let me just let me just find it. Um, I'm not sure if this is the correct one. Yeah. Anyway, uh I don't want to burn so much time there. We should proceed. But there was this no there was this example before. I think you can just look for it with John. Okay, look for it with John. So yep, I think I spoke Filipino right there. So apologies for that. Okay, the word ano is like something, or it's similar to the Japanese word ano. Anyway, apologies for that. So, yep. So that's the like function. It's just a way for us to like get the number of characters. Okay, the number it can only be used with strings, and with trim, it will remove the leading and trailing spaces, right? So sometimes there will be this leading and trailing spaces that we want to remove. For some reason, it's a result of misencoding. Okay, and yeah, the easiest way to remove those would be to use the trim. Okay, because if you apply the length function, it would actually count those spaces. It will be recognized as one character. So for example, here, let's go back. So let's select length of this. So observe that it will be um, it will be counted, right? So be careful with it. Be careful with it. So how to remove the trailing and the um, trailing and leading spaces? Just apply the trim. Okay, it will remove both of the leading and trailing. Do you follow, guys? It's just straightforward. Any questions? Any questions? So if you apply that to a column, it would remove all of the trailing and leading spaces in that column for all of your inputs. Okay. So let's see an example. So here, um, this is actually a different thing now because it's very specific to a character. But let's consider um, let's consider something of crimes incident. So I think we can use this. Let's look into a particular column, and let's see. I think this incident number has a. Hmm, let's order by address. Hmm. I wonder. Maybe the reason why I did not include an example of that is because neither of these tables have that input. So it's just a good to know. But I think we don't have any example of that here, at least from what I can remember. So anyway, let's consider this example using trim. Okay, so we can also use trim to remove characters from the beginning and ending of a string. We can specify that. So any characters that included in the single quotes will be removed from either the beginning, end, or both sides of the string. Okay, so let's see. So again, the pattern is a leading or a trailing. Okay, so it would look at the beginning and at the end. So let's see. It says location. Yeah, so the location here. Why do you think that it's a good idea to remove the parentheses? Or it's better if we put the longitude and the latitude separately, like what we have in this column. What do you think is the reason for that? You can think of any other variables. Maybe say um, grade, a column grade, but it has this 85 or like 85%, something like that, 95%. Why do you think that removing the percentage in this case would be a good idea? Anyone? Grace? I think Grace is at work, right?
No, sorry, I've just been in and out with taking care of
Oh,
the
I see,
house,
I
like
see. Yeah,
backed up, so
may
it's
I
kind of
ask you this? Why do you think removing the percentages or the sign, the percentage sign is a good idea? What could what benefit could it give us when we omit those? And this
is
is
it
an important
about
thing.
character count when there's only one digit, or is it about like format being read by other? I'm not
Hmm.
sure.
Okay. Yeah, the first thing that you said could be, right? If you want to know the length of the characters, then that percentage would be added. That symbol would be added. Another thing is, oftentimes, okay, when you put this percentage symbol, this will now be a character instead of a number. So you cannot apply any computations with it. You cannot get an average if you have a percentage in it because it is recognized as a string. Do you follow? So
Yes,
yeah, if we have this for some
it
reason,
deviates from the reading it as numerical then.
exactly perfect. Okay, so if you have like a leading and trailing parentheses, okay, even as a human, right, as an analyst, even that it is a number, the system reads it as a character, and you cannot do average with it. Okay, so it's just pretty much the same thing as with the location here. So if you have a location such that, say, from tutorial SF crimes, I would show it. I would show this to you. I want to group by. Let's see how we can group it by day of week, day of week, and then what I want to get is select um student number. I'm just doing it from scratch. Um, average of it would result to an error anyway. So yeah. So if we do this, it would not give us any results because first, average averaging a character doesn't make sense. Do you follow? So in those cases, we should remove those parentheses. And you might argue, Jeff, how about how about the comma? You can also remove that, right? And best, actually, there's a practice. I think next meeting on Saturday, there's a discussion about how can we separate this thing into a longitude and a latitude format, similar to these two columns. Because with this, you can, well, averaging a latitude doesn't make sense. But if we are speaking of other variables, it's better that you put it this way because uh, you can uh, you can apply descriptive measures with it. You can summarize it. Okay, so that's the reason. That's the reason for um, this, like deleting the trailing um, the leading and trailing parentheses. Even with spaces, if your column, for example, one or many of your records are having spaces, it would be recognized as a string. So it would skew your your query because it won't let you apply averages or sums. So you have to remove those first. Okay, and it's typically happening in real life because uh people make errors, right? Uh, especially in the encoding part. So let's see this. So from tutorial dot SF crimes, what we want to do right here is to trim, and we want both um, the open and close parentheses from location. And when we do that, and let's show the location, okay, you would see that um, it doesn't, it now has no parentheses. So see, so this bit trim has no parentheses now. If you want to make it proper by assigning it name, you can do new location, right? And that way we can change it to that format. Do you follow, guys? Do you follow? Okay, cheers. So let's proceed. This is the one that John was mentioning earlier, the L trim and the R trim. Um, basically, it's an option. It's a flexibility with the trim function. You can either you can either just remove the leading, right, or um, those those spaces or whatever character that's appearing on the left or on the right. So with the trim, you'll be doing that both, but with the L trim, you'll be doing it like on a certain direction. So all those that coming from the left, and with the right, all those coming from the right. Okay, so it's basically that, and I don't think that yeah, it's very straightforward, I should say. Okay, questions, guys? Questions. Again, L trim removes the leading spaces. Okay. R trim also removes the trailing spaces, but from the right. And I'm still thinking about the code that I used before that entirely removes every space. I can't totally remember the
When
maybe.
Jeff, when you write this
Mhm.
code, is it, are you gonna put in there the variable or the name of the column inside string? If you do name of the column, it'll trim all the values under that
Yes,
column.
yeah, exactly.
It,
That's what it
okay.
will do. Yeah. Yeah. Let me just try ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT could give me an idea on what that thing was. Remove spaces in SQL. I forgot the code. Um, let me see. No, it doesn't give me the thing I want. So regardless if leading or trailing. Well, there will be seldom events in which you will be actually doing that, but uh it's a good thing to know that there's something like that. Uh, well, Chat GPT is just hallucinating right now. It's giving me things that are incorrect. Let me see. Yeah, the replace could actually work. Yeah, let's see. Let's try this. I think this should work. Mm, select, select, replace. Uh, Let me see. I just wanted to show you this. What if we remove all the spaces, regardless if they are trailing or leading? Just all. Let's see. Select. Let's go back here. Select star from tutorials of crimes. Let's see if we can use any of this. Any column here. Mhm. Yeah, this script we can use that. Select replace this script, and what I want to remove would be the space, and what I want to replace is nothing. I want to do that. Let's compare it as my this script, and then I want to show the original the script. This should work. Um, this script, and then from tutorial.sf crime to the report. I think this should work. The replace function. Yeah, it works. But this is not the code that I was thinking. It was not the replace one. But you see, it worked. It removed all of the spaces. But again, there would be less. Well, you can use this if you're not sure which is the location of the spaces. If whether it is like on the start or at the end, and if you're just working with an input that should not have any space, like one word or maybe two words but are compounded by the underscore. So you can use this, like search for all of the missing spaces and then remove it. So that's basically what's being done here. Okay, but if I remember it, I'll share it to you. But I think it's not replace. It's something different from this. So anyway, let's go back here. Um, okay. So position. Okay. So returns the position of a character counting from the left. That's that's the default of this. In a substring, the first one found. So this, remember, this is case sensitive. So make sure that for anything that you put inside the single quotation mark, that is case sensitive in SQL. So be careful. So when you use position, again, there would be less well, you will use this seldomly, is what I was trying to say. So at least you know, okay, that there's a way for you using the position function to look for a specific substring. Okay, so yeah, you can do that. Again, it depends on the thing that you want to accomplish. Okay, any questions, guys? Any questions? So the thing with data wrangling, guys, is this. Um, you must have tons of tools because most of the time data cleaning involves very unique problems. You know what I mean? Those errors don't typically come in just one format. Okay, those errors could, for example, an input should can contain slash. It can contain a single quotation mark. So what I'm trying to do here is to supply you with some tools that you might need in the future when you encounter something that needs to be cleansed. Do you follow? So you can look for the position. Uh, you can look for like delete those invisible spaces or whatever character you want to delete in every row. So yeah, those are the tools that we're discussing. So we have str pos, which is basically the same as the position, just this different syntax. So this str pos takes two parameters as argument. So the string and then the substring. Okay, but basically they are just the same. The str pos and the position. So it just depends on your preference and which you want to use. And then we have the substring. So the substring creates a customized substring from an existing string. So you have an existing string and you want to somehow edit it, right? So here in this thing that I have, the four specifies the first four specifies the position which correspond to the letter J, and then the next four would refer to the length of that position. So this is the trick that I was telling you before when we want to extract the AM or the PM. Remember? So there's this substring that would actually make the job easier because if you have like this specific length and you can identify, okay, the A appears on the kth position, you can just specify it here, right? So you count, okay, what's the first letter of the A, that AM. So if it corresponds like 17th character from the left, you put it 17, right? And then how many characters from that 17th position would be included in your output? Just the same thing here. So the 4 right here refers to G, which is from the left 0, 1, 2, rather 1, 2, 3, 4, starting from 0. So that's J. And then how many characters in order to just filter the month? So 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to end with E, right? So how do we do that with the date? Again, going back to this problem earlier, okay? How can we do that? We copy that. So using substring, substring. Okay. Now let's see. If we use a substring here, we need first to have an idea on like how many characters are there before we reach the A. So I want to see that by hitting on select date. And actually, what do you think can we use to efficiently know the position? And we just talk about that. Anyone? What tool that we already have can make this counting efficiently? Imagine you have thousands of characters and you want to look for a specific appearance of a thing in that string. You can apply either the pause or the str pause, right? Do you follow? So that we don't have to count from, we don't need to do it manually. Do you follow? Do you follow, guys? So here we'll just apply the position, right? Position, and then we want to find which one? A in date. Okay, was it correct? So everything, okay, just, we are looking for AM and PM, but they are of the same length, right? So whether it's A or B, it's just the same. And they are of the same characters, right? All of them. So what we can do with this is use that 21. So use it here, substring, from the date starting from 21. And then we only need two characters. So that way, it will just give us AM and PM, right? This is a shortcut. But it's nice that we explored earlier that I can do it with a combination of left and right and left, or the one that I did with the subquery. So again, in programming, guys, then the more tool you know, the more ways that you can be creative in arriving at the same thing. So there's no one correct answer. You can you can be creative. That's one beauty about programming. Any questions, guys? Questions? So this won't work if the length of each input is different. If that makes sense to you, it won't work that way. Let's see. I think they're of the same length. We checked it, right? So even we check the others. Yeah, it's of the same length. They have the same format, so they should have the same length. That's the beauty of having like a uniform input. You can apply so many tools with it, uh, if needed. Questions? Questions? Questions, guys? And just like that, we have we have finished the session. So this is just a practice that you can talk with John. And there's a thing here. There's a trick here. I want you to talk with John, the negative one that I used here. Like sometimes you would be needing to use a negative one because it would make your life easier. I want you to talk with John this thing, okay? John, please discuss it with the group. Yeah. So I want you to go deeper in like the reason, the logic behind all of these lines. I want it that way, okay? We don't want any parts of our query to be unclear. Every part should be clear. Okay, that's my rule in any of my class. So here, kindly discuss um, this example, and then that's it. Okay. There are so many other things, guys, and however, these are like most of the used ones, but it's not all. I mean, there are tons of it. So I'm just laying the foundation that again, you encounter a unique problem, and all of these tools are not doing the thing, then that's the time that you need to search. Okay. Okay, guys. Can I get a thumbs up if everything's clear?
Thank you, Cha.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. So yeah, before you transition to lab, I suggest that you take break and then yeah, proceed with the practice. I'll see you on Friday, Saturday. Again, for the benefit of the others, Saturday we'll still have lecture. That's the final lecture. lab of that will be for your review with John. Okay, start from the very beginning just to see that everything was clear. On Monday, there's no class because of the Memorial Day holiday. Use it as the time to prepare. Okay, and then on Wednesday you'll have an exam. So we'll not have any lecture. We'll just take an exam. Okay, so we'll see each other again on Saturday for Python. Okay, for Python. So yep, that's it.
So are we not
Yep.
having class next Tuesday either?
Um, you can use it for review
So next Wednesday is when we're gonna have the test.
exam. Yeah.
And then the
Or
Tuesday, what about the Tuesday? So the
no,
Tuesday,
no, no,
are
no,
we gonna
no.
meet Tuesday before that? Are
That's
we gonna
actually
meet
a
with
good
John?
point. No, no, no. That's actually a good point. Why not we do Tuesday as an exam day, and then we meet Wednesday,
Okay.
right? I think
No, Tuesday. I
you
yeah,
prefer
I would
Wednesday.
like it on Wednesday.
Yeah, I again decide as a group. I mean,
But for me, okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. For me, it's
I
Yeah,
more
mean,
like
what?
let's get it
positive.
over with. For me, it's more like let's get it over with.
No,
So
no,
maybe how
Jeff,
about would John
Jeff.
would John be okay with helping us prepare on Tuesday? So maybe Tuesday
Yeah,
we use it as a review session.
yeah, exactly. That's what we plan, because what Asiba wants to say is that she wants more time to prepare with
So
John.
what I'm saying is like so next Tuesday we'll use it as a review session.
Yes,
So like so the review before with the day before test to review probably the freshest. So
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
okay.
agree.
So
Yep.
maybe the next review next lab we have we'll just deal with the new material the new material.
Yeah. So since you have like lengthy time to prepare, I might make the exam.
See, that's why I wanted to do
No, I'm
that's
just
why I wanted.
kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. So no, 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 don't worry. Again, well, I'm not doing the exam to punish you, okay? So no, no, I'm not be increasing the difficulty. Don't worry. Well, the way I see it, the foundation is already solid. So it's just a proof to me that yeah, you can do it on your own. Okay, okay.
Okay. Thank you
So
for
so Wednesday,
understanding.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Welcome, and yeah, please prepare. This is for you. I mean, we're doing it for you to provide more value. I should say,
Yeah.
so that you end the cohort confident that yeah, I really did my best, and everything was very done clearly. Okay, so yeah,
Jeff,
again,
Thank you.
Jeff, I have a
yep,
question.
Grace. Mm,
So since we're rolling through this course,
mm.
is there a portion that's going to be, or are we going to get started on portfolio making? Like
Well,
actual, that
yeah,
can actually be like a presentable, or that we have an idea of what those are supposed to look like.
yeah. We actually have a different course for portfolio projects, because as you can see, the time is a bit slim. Um, what we can do, if I think that would really help. I will create a portfolio project task uh, from an actual data, and that would form part of your requirement. What do you think? I have tons of data sets here, guys, that I can share to the group. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay,
I
perfect.
mean, as long as we don't like finish the course and I'm like, how do I even begin? What do those look like? That
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
I,
Just to
I'm just avoiding
like,
this, Grace.
oh,
There's a
okay.
possibility that your focus would be divided into the lecture and also completing that project. That's what we try to avoid. But yeah, we'll see if you're not being overloaded. Okay. Um,
你们说
you
的
can
天不
pursue
天
it.
是不是就是说那个后面的也是有一根
Sorry, Jeff.
Sorry. I was sorry. I wasn't muted. I was returning a message.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. So let me see. But in terms of data sets, we have tons of data sets, actual data sets from my clients that we can use. I'll just remove the sensitive information there, so that it would be anonymized. So that way we can use them. Um, yeah. What do you think, John? I think it's a good practice. I mean, they can maximize the time with us, and it's also I think one of the best ways to learn, to really handle a project. Yeah, let me think about it, Grace. Let me think about it.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So, yep. Again, thank you very much. Enjoy the lab. Bye bye.
Bye.
Hey, sir.
Yep.
Okay, hello everyone. Before we transition to lab, let's have a short break, a 10-minute break. Hello, everyone. Are you there? Can you hear me? Thank you for that confirmation, Hasiba.
Yes, sir.
I'm here.
Thank you. So yesterday we have a lot of practices, and unfortunately, you didn't have a chance to join the meeting yesterday, Jeff. But I already posted that video yesterday.
Okay, I'll check it. I'll check that out. Thank you.
I also sent the files that we have used yesterday. So there are two files. The first file contains the questions or the
Okay,
queries.
it's on the assignments, right?
It's on the Discord.
Oh, it's on the
Two files,
Discord.
yes.
That's what-
Two files on the Discord. The first file that is named practices for very close practices subqueries practices for where clause. So that contains the queries that you need to accomplish if
Okay.
you want to have
Okay.
some practices. But
Yeah.
I also sent the answer keys for those subqueries.
Okay.
Some of them are challenging. It is divided into three sections: easy, average, and difficult. And we have completed all of them yesterday.
Okay.
Okay, so let me share my screen and let's have some minor practices about the discussions that we have today. Since we only have a short amount of time during these days wherein we have discussions, so let's try to have some practices. Let me find some practices here. Okay, guys. So we have some practices on the left, also the right, the left, the trim, L trim, R trim, position. Wait, STR position, the same thing, substring. Leading, trim, leading. This is the practice that was given to us, right? Right query that separates the location. The location field from the tutorial that SF Crimes Incidents 2014 into separate fields for longitude and latitude. So let's try to see first what's that location. So I actually already read this code a while ago wherein we can view the entire data and let's see the location. First the location. Oops. This the location looks like this. 37. There is parentheses, open parentheses, and close parentheses on both sides. There is a comma. I think there is also a space after a comma. What else? And the goal is to separate this part, this left side, to the right side. However, applying directly the strategy that we are doing for the left and the right, because for the left and the right, based on this, okay, let me go back to the presentation. For example, on the date, when we apply the left on the date, we are sure of the counts of the we are sure of the counts of the position. Like since the date is uniform, if we will look on this, right, this one. Since they have uniform formatting, like there is the date, the time, and plus 4 zeros at the end. All of these inputs have uniform positioning. When we extracted the date from the left, applying this strategy, like directly typing 10 as okay, like all of them, if you will count the first 10 elements, like from zero, counting it as 1, 2, including the slash as the third character, fourth, fifth, sixth. If you reach 10, all of them is including the year. So in that case, directly typing the number is okay. From the date, you want to extract 10 characters from the left. However, in this case, in the problem that we are trying to solve, it is somehow not efficient. It is not useful to just directly tell that we want to extract the first 20 characters from the left, because there is a varying number of characters. Like this has more digits compared to this first record. So they are not uniform. Somehow they are not uniform. Uh, like this record, this 17th record, it has a different number of digits. That's why we cannot use the direct typing of the numbers. The same applies for the latitudes, longitudes. This is the longitude. The first part is the latitude. The second part is the longitude. So the goal is to extract or to give them separate columns by using the trim, the length, and positioning that we have discussed. So let's take it very slow for us to understand the code. So there is already a code for this. And let's try to understand this. If we will be able to understand this part, I think the use of the string, the left, the right, the positioning, the length will be established. So let us type this first on the mode. I already sent the screenshot of this on the chat box. If you also want to type it, select string leading select string leading from left, location, comma position, in location minus. Minus 1, like this, as latitude, as latitude. And comma, trim trailing, close parenthesis, trim trailing, close parenthesis, from right, then location again. This is somehow a challenging code. Location, length, location. Location, length, GTH. Location minus position of comma and location. Position, position, oops, comma in location. As longitude. Let me count the number of longitude, longitude. From, I think this is it. Let me just double check it for the typographical errors. Stream reading from left, then location, comma position of this in location. Position of this location -1 as latitude. So I think this one
What is the -1 saying? It's saying
okay. So the position of this in location will give us a number, and we are subtracting 1 from that.
to remove the space.
So wait. Let us double check it first.
Uh-huh.
The syntax, the way we typed it, and then let's break it down. From right, location, length, location, position as longitude. Let us try to run this, and if this works, therefore there's no any typographical errors. And let me prepare this also. Okay. Okay, let's start on breaking this down. I hope 30 minutes is enough to break this down. So the result of this is 2 columns. Longitude, the column named latitude and the column named longitude, these 2. And what actually happened here is, based from this original table, okay, let's try to look into it. Okay. Or just the location, so that we would not see other things that we did, that we don't need. Let's try to break this code into its every single piece. So the location, the original location looks like this. Okay, the one that we have analyzed a while ago, it has parentheses on both sides. It also has, it is separated by comma. The one from the left is the latitude. The numbers on the right is the longitude. So the goal is to give them separate columns named latitude and longitude. So let us see this first. This part first for the latitude. Let me open first this, and this one. The position of the location, what it will give us. This
Will
part.
give us a number, right?
This will give us a number.
Yeah.
Position of this in
Position of the
location
comma and within the location column.
from. Okay, let's try to analyze that. The ending, the point here is that the inner things that we have seen at the innermost part of our codes, those are just numbers if we will simplify it. Okay, so it says that the position of the comma in the location for the first part is the 17th. 17, the 18th. So they have different positioning for the location of the comma. But we don't want the comma to be included for the latitude, right? From, wait, let me run this again. Okay. So the positioning of this comma referring to the first row is 17. That's why if we will apply left and then 17, left location 17, it will count from the left side 17 characters and it will include the comma. However, we don't want comma to be included for the latitude. That's why we are subtracting 1 from it.
That becomes the trim.
Yes,
Okay.
to remove the extra comma for the latitude. So this one is solved, right? This one is just a number. Like from 17 it will become 16. And we are applying that for the left. Left of location 16. Right? However, another problem is it also includes this parenthesis at the first part. That's why we are trimming the leading this, the open parenthesis, from whatever would be the result of this. Is that clear? Okay. This one is a number. We are subtracting 1 to not include the comma. And then whatever the number is the result of this, we are using that for the left. Okay? Left of location and then whatever the number is the result of this. And from that, from this, the result of this will include parentheses. That's why we are trimming the leading this from whatever the result of this. And with that, we will name that as latitude. So I think this part is clear. The second part is much more intimidating, but this is also just a number. And I will explain later the 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 purpose of the negative one in some programming languages such as Python, because we will dive into the Python by Saturday. Okay, so for the latitude, for the longitude, the same case here. This will extract the length of the location. Okay, so it will just count how many are the characters in each of this, and all of this, including the commas, including
So
the
just 1 second.
spaces.
1 second,
Okay.
John. So length will give you also a value, right? Which is the number of
Yes.
characters.
Number of
So you're
characters,
saying in the
including,
length of location minus the position of the comma.
yes, position
From
of,
there, you're gonna truncate everything in front of it.
minus position. Okay, so yes, correct. It will truncate the, so this will give us, let's say, 20, and this will give us, let's say, 10, and then minusing them, it will result to a new number. And referring to the location, we are applying right. So the result of the number of location minus the position of this, okay, and counting from that, this comma, applying the right, will give us this right version of our of this row, okay, of this cell rather. And then from that, since there is a trailing close parenthesis, we will trim that. Okay. So if you will encounter, maybe in the future, if you will encounter this type of codes wherein it is very complicated, start on the innermost and try to simplify it on the innermost part. Because commonly on this codes, the innermost parts of the codes will just give you a number. And they don't want any further calculations, like they will compute for the length of the location, for the position of this on the location. They want it to be directly typed on a single query to be efficient. So if you will encounter codes like this in the future, interpret it in the way that you will start at the innermost part. In that way, you would easily understand why the 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 reason why it was used in that position. Okay, and whatever the result of this, it was named as the longitude. That's why from this location, we just selected it like this. The result of this, we already seen it, or maybe it would be better if we also apply here the location. So let me add it so that we can see it side by side. The before and after.
John, I have a question.
Yes.
When it says length location minus position of the comma, when it gives you a value for position of the comma, it's also going to read that from the right because it's within that parentheses. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes. The length of, because this positioning of this, the counting will start at the front.
As a default, right?
Yes, as a default.
As
The
a default.
position of this will
Yeah.
the counting is start at the front. So let's
But
say
because
this.
it varies, you have to tell it to go from the
Yes.
right.
Yes. So imagine that you have the full length minus how many the characters are in the front using this. So it will give us a number, which is the number of the remaining elements in this. Like imagine you have removed the first part. So you have the remaining number of elements at the latter portion of your cell. And then you will use that number to find the location based on the right. So this one is somehow intimidating. On the first time that you would saw this, it is problematic to read from left to right. Like if you will apply the normal reading, that's why you need to start at the innermost portion.
And then like trim leading, trim trailing. There is no comma after that or an and to suggest you're also going to trim the rest of this. How come it doesn't need anything like that? Does that make sense? My question makes sense?
Like, yes, maybe that's the role of the from.
That's the rule of the from. Okay.
Trim the leading. This open parenthesis, you can modify this. If, for example, there are multiple instances of parentheses from whatever the result of this. In this,
Oh,
this
it's not an and. It's
Mhm.
do this actually last after this part. Okay.
another idea here is do not miscount the number of parentheses. Like if this part should have a partner. Okay, this open parenthesis should always have a closing parenthesis. That is also one of the common errors in this type of programming, especially if many parentheses are being introduced in the code. Like if you will see this, there are three closing parentheses that is beside each other. Is this one clear? I think for three, this one is clear. How about Hasiba and Jeff? Everything makes sense in this code?
Yeah, but I think I need to like still like digest a little bit on this.
Okay, okay. So if you will try to run this by your own, try to like run this position in a different line, like just like what we did here. And then imagine that these are just numbers and you are subtracting one. So this position is just a number and you are subtracting one from that. And the syntax of the left, right? Left and right. If you will go back to this, where is it? So right and then the column followed by a number. So in this, you have left, the name of the column, followed by a number.
Left located by the number. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Got it, got it. Oh,
The
okay.
same thing here. The same thing here.
So this is kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like how like the index and the match in like Excel, right? Kind of.
Yes. I think the reason why Sir Jeff is pointing me out to discuss with the context of the negative one is it would be useful on the future. But I think at this point, it's okay if I will not discuss it because it will overload the information. But it's about the indexing in the Python, wherein I don't know if you noticed it, but a while ago when Sir Jeff is counting the position, like let's say, okay, let's try to run the date. Select date. Oops. From this table.
Position and in location.
I don't know if you have noticed it, but the way Sir Jeff is counting the positioning in the dates is he is starting is in zero. Like the position of zero is one. If in the normal counting, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A while ago, he is starting is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and he will start again. He will count at 1, 2, 3, 4. Like the first element in the counting of Sir Jeff is zero. That's because he is always using Python, and the index in Python starts at zero.
Okay, so the first number is always zero actually.
On the context of the Python, but for the Excel, for the SQL, it starts with one.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. So if you want like number, okay, I got it. I think I understand. With the zero, it's actually you could um it's gonna with zero, it's gonna be returning it's gonna be count essentially be in front of that letter. So it will be returning exactly what that
Okay.
character is. But if it starts from one, it's gonna go past it. So that's why you have to minus one.
CONH. So imagine you have a string like this.
Yeah.
Let me fix it. In Python, in SQL,
Mhm.
in Excel, the counting looks like this. A regular 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But in Python, the
It's zero,
indexing
one,
is
two, three,
this.
four.
Yes, 1, 2, 3. So if you want to extract the fourth element, like the H, in Python, you need to type 3. But don't think it too much. We will have a separate discussion for
Yeah.
this. And in Python, there is this thing like there is a negative indexing like -1, -2, -3, -4. Like if you want to call H you can also use -1 to call the last element. That's why Sir Jeff is highlighting -1 a while ago. So maybe that's my assumption that that's the reason why he's highlighting the -1. But upon looking into this, the context of it is literally -1. Like from this number, subtract 1 to remove the comma. Do not include the comma. Okay, so okay, this would be our plan for tomorrow. I will try to find
Yeah.
a data set in the mode.
Yeah.
There are a lot of data sets in this mode. I will try to find a data set that is somehow problematic. The formatting of the rows and the columns are somehow problematic, and we will try to clean it. And on Saturday, that would be the start of the review session. So what I can suggest is to fill in or to formulate some questions based on the topics that you think needs further discussion, and we'll try to focus on that because I think the first parts of our meeting we will try to go back into that, especially on the different clauses, their purposes, what are the functions that should be within that clause, the ordering of the execution. We will try to go back into that because to give you a hint, the way Sir Jeff is writing an exam for SQL is you cannot apply trial and error in it. You need to really understand the process and the logic why it is being written. Like the format is just a word, and he will give you a hypothetical table that contains hypothetical columns, and based on that you will do the querying. So you have no way to do trial and error in the mode. So that's the reason why the concept is should be really established. Like even if you are not seeing the data sets in the mode, given some descriptions only, you should be able to run the query that is being asked. Okay, let's go back to this and let's see some challenges. What if we want to remove +00 on the time? So we already did this the left and the right way. The length, the trim, what else? The positioning. Substring, concat. So almost things together. A and D. Have we discussed this? The concat or not? I think not the concat. The concat is just the reverse of what we did here. Here we separated single column into two different columns. The concat, on the other hand, is you have different columns and you want to combine it into a single column. Like the reverse of this. The syntax looks like this. Concat and then parentheses. Inside the parentheses, you have the first column, comma, followed by this. If you want the result to have an extra comma between the element of this column and this column, so you can introduce a comma, but include it into a string. So I think it would be better if we will try to practice it. We still have 5 minutes Just an additional discussion. Select, let us select star first from this table. Don't worry, based on your performances, based on the practices that you have done, I'm very confident on your skills that you will pass the exam easily. Friday. Let's combine the day of week and the dates, but we will not include the time, the date only. So how can we extract? Okay, let's do it step by step. How can we extract the date from this? We actually did it a while ago, if you can still remember it. How can we extract this 01/31/2014 unlock then? What tool can we use?
Do a left
Okay,
10 or
left.
something like that.
Okay, left
That's date
from
10.
date,
Yep.
then 10. And let's see what would be the result of this. The result of this is okay, so that is the correct syntax. So what if I want to join the day of week? So day of week. In that, we can use the tool
Okay.
concat. Okay, so select concat. What are the things that we want? This, the left
Yeah, so
of
left
date 10,
date, yeah, okay. And
comma,
then day of the week.
day of the week. Exactly.
But then that's
And
gonna not that's not gonna leave us like it's gonna just be sticking F right after 4, right?
yes, right out of four. That's why we can include just additional things.
We can
So
also
it
can we
looks like
also can we
this.
just add like another comma of like a just a quote like an empty quote like a quote with
Yes, with a
space.
space.
Okay.
Yes, we can do that. This
Wait,
represents
what? Why was it a oh 4 for 2014? Okay, sorry. 2014 Friday.
so that's the idea of having this. So it will give you a
Oh, yeah,
space.
yes. Okay,
Like
cool. That's
if
good.
you want to
Yeah.
introduce a string, just enclose it with quotation. Actually, you can put anything here. Like let's say I want to put John between them. So you would actually see it reflects on the code.
That's good.
Okay, so you can try to experiment it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
as you
John
can see,
Friday.
you have the John Friday. So
John
like
John Friday.
if you want a comma followed by a space, that is also doable in this.
Yeah, that probably looks a little that look more comfortable to me. I get really I
So
don't know. I think it's maybe a pet peeve when I see like the first one, the F comes right after 4, I get like really like I need to have a
so
space. I get OCD
so
about it.
so this one this the concept of this having a quotation and having the power to insert whatever you want in there is very important, especially when we have the Python. So the design of the course is, for me, there's a personal opinion. It is very structured, wherein the last parts of the SQL is somehow connected to the first parts of the Python. You would always see the quotation on the
You can just put
Python.
a an alias at the end of that, right? Because it named it
Yes,
concat.
yes. Let's name it as date or
Date and day.
and date. Or let's do it in this way. Date and date. Date and date. we didn't use us to indicate aliasing. We use double quotation. Okay. So I think you would be able to pass the exam easily. I am confident on your skills at this point. No no, no sugarcoating, just just an honest observation based on the way you formulate codes like this. Even the advanced parts, and I think the reason why you are able to you are able to do this complicated codes is because the basics is really established, and that is the thing that we want. And yeah, okay, I think we overtime by
Yeah.
a little bit, and I know all of you are tired of your very long day, and okay, let's just continue on practicing tomorrow.
Yep, let's do that. Cool.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
John.
everyone. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. I'm
Thank
excited
you.
on our
Thanks,
practice.
John.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.